Welcome back to my floor and my bookcase of random things. Tomorrow, Halloween, marks 1 year of me making YouTube content. Isn't that wild? I told myself I could do this for a year, just like I could do the low spend, no spend challenge. And somehow I have made 44 videos, been able to upload once a week since February, and I've started building a tiny community of other art school traumatized individuals. That video is almost at 2,000 views, and that is absolutely absurd. One, I'm kind of glad that we all had a similar traumatic experience through art school, and two, I'm sorry that we all had a similarly traumatic experience through art school. I think the one thing that made that video successful is I didn't go in with a script. I didn't go in with talking points. I sat down and turned on my phone and just started talking to the camera. And that realization is what has sort of led me to switching gears. I don't want to devalue the other skills that I've learned while learning how to be a YouTuber. I can do little animations. I know how to do green screen, which, that's pretty cool. And I think I've gotten better at transitions and editing. I still haven't figured out how to beat the ADHD dopamine rush of knocking things out at the last minute, but there's time. Of course, other than the smack in the face realization that I have ADHD, I feel like I've started finding myself. And I know that is super cliche, blah, 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 journey of self-discovery, blah. I'm a very private person in my day-to-day life. Growing up, I had a parent who would constantly shame and put me down about things that I enjoyed or things that I was interested in, whether that was art, movies, books, the clothing I wanted to wear, you name it, there was somehow a problem with it. And it wasn't just criticizing me to my face, it was criticizing me to strangers and then telling me about criticizing me to strangers. What is wrong with you? From a very young age, I learned that I was an outsider, and I have felt like an outcast and a weirdo for my entire life, including my adult life. I learned early that it wasn't safe to share the things that I like. It wasn't even safe to share when my interests changed. I asked for a Lady Gaga CD one year for Christmas, and you would think that I had rhinestoned the entire house and declared that I wanted to be a Dolly Parton impersonator. Finally, sharing my artwork on the internet was a huge step in starting to work through that trauma. One of the best things about this year were the two strangers that I met at a B&B who encouraged me to start calling myself an artist first. The thing about YouTube is that people come for your content, but largely they stay for you. And we're never 100% ourselves on the internet because boundaries are normal and healthy and very important. But through this year of trying to figure out what my niche is and what I want to make and what I want to talk about and who I'm talking to, I've come to realize a couple of things. One, I'm not totally being honest with myself. I enjoy making art content. I love desk makeovers. I love sketchbook tours. I love watching people create art and experiment with new media. I love watching people talk about the things that they enjoy and the things that make them happy. And two, I'm skirting around the things that make me happy. It's something that I've said in videos here. It's something that I've said on my blog when blogging was a thing that people did. It's always something that I've considered myself, but never really put into perspective. I've called myself a monster girl my entire life. I love talking about monsters. I love talking about legends. I love talking about weird history things. And maybe I know too much about Victorian medical practices, but who doesn't find the world's only 300% mortality rate surgery interesting? I grew up watching Dark Shadows and the Addams Family and the Munsters. I read The Interview with the Vampire when I was 13, which was probably a terrible idea and also explains a lot. One of my core memories as a child is the Backstreet Boys Everybody music video where they're all dressed up as monsters. That song is still on my playlist and I still really love that music video. If you can guess which Backstreet Boy was my favorite, I'll give you a cookie. Until I listened to an episode of Ologies with Ali Ward, I had no idea that teratology was a thing. Not terrortology, but teratology, the study of monsters. And my life would be so different if I knew that I could get a degree in monster studies. I know people have become cryptozoologists, but how do you get that job? I had a friend in college who was absolutely one of the coolest people I have ever met. And one of the things that she liked to talk about was the connection between zombies and their portrayal, their attributes, whatever, in conjunction with whatever economic trouble and fear that people in society were experiencing at the time. And nothing makes me happier than talking about history and how we get modern depictions of the vampire, or the rise of satanic silent serial killers is a huge thing for 2024. I'm not so much a horror movie person. I do enjoy the occasional horror movie, but it's not really my vibe. The intersection that I enjoy is looking at what we're afraid of and what it actually translates to. I want to be excited about the things I make. I want to be excited about what I'm talking about, excited about what I'm sharing, excited about the conversation we can have. The art content isn't going anywhere. It's not going away. I just want to do more of the things that I am excited for. If you have any requests or suggestions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you'd like more content like this, and I will see you guys in the next video.